Hi, also welcome to another day on this JMeter training. And as a recap, so we are currently discussing the test execution, right? So in yesterday's session, where my system got crashed, so we uh, abruptly stopped at one point, right? So maybe in that recording, if anyone is watching, so you'll see that suddenly the recording might have stopped. So do not get confused. That was the point where we stopped, and in this video or in this session, we will be continuing from that point. Okay, fine. So we covered till here where I was preparing a test data. I ran one user registration file in that session, the user registration JMX file, and I uh, generated some test users, I think of 20, right, to use it in the product book. And that we will be learning as well. Right. So how to do that all we'll be learning in coding section. So still we have some sessions left. Fine. So after this, right, till this after adding all this thing time, whatever you want to give, ramp up, loop, test data preparation, right? Users, all that for how many number you want to how many number of user you want to run, and depending on that ramp up, whether you want to run a single loop, duration based test, what thing time, what pacing, all this test data you should set up in the script. Right? Now next thing is delete, that is the best option, or disable any unnecessary listener or other elements from the script. Okay, so any unnecessary listener or any other stuff. Now the point is why we do. Okay, Here, so just let us understand why we do that, right? Why I'm saying to do. So see, any unnecessary thing. So once the script is finalized, even if you remember the steps that I have covered here. Mm, Yeah, yeah. The final step I've written this that we have to delete or remove those uh, points. Correct. Mm. So, meanwhile, if you see this point number 24, right, that we have to discipline. So that was a part of a good, all the best practices for scripting. We have done that as well. Now, why we do that? Let us just quickly understand, right? So why we do that? See, JMeter is a very memory sensitive application, and we have to reduce unnecessary memory consumption wherever possible while doing load testing. Now, what is the meaning of unnecessary memory consumption? Okay. So if you see, suppose we have view result, and if I'm running a test here, so you'll see that uh, it will show everything. Suppose the request went, the request header, the response header, right? And displaying all text memory consumption. Okay. Apart from that, anything, the variable that we have used, right? See the correlation variables, all where we are extracting value, how many much variable we will be using, that much memory they have to eat only because they have to store the data in memory at each variable. And this is not only the case. This is not for one user. We will be doing it for 20 user, 100 user, right? So when we run for 100 user, 1,000 user, 10,000 users, 5,000 users, 2,000 users, right? So suppose any element which is not which we are not using, if that is in use, obviously uh, it will consume memory, right? Because anything, any component to get in use, it needs memory, right? Very simple. That's why there is a memory concept. Right? Why we need 32 GB RAM laptop or 16 GB phone nowadays coming, right? 12 GB phone, right? Because memory is there, right? Everything that we use, it's of the memory, correct? So that is the reason we should disable or delete any unnecessary element in our script which will not be going to use, because now final script has been prepared, and we whatever thing we see should be deleted or disabled. Now in that also, in the all thing also, the listeners, and that also view result tree listener is a very very Remember, very double time. Okay, or very triple square. Yeah, memory consuming element. Remember, very memory consuming element. Because suppose the same thing. Okay, suppose I for one user I ran and showing everything, every detail. And the same thing if I run for 100 users or if I run for 1000 users. So here it will show everything, all 15 transactions or total 17 requests are there in 15 transactions. So all 17 requests will be fired for all 1000 users, right? And it has the request, the response, it has to show, right? And it will eat up so much memory, and even it will become slow. JMeter will become slow because of this. You can try. Um, you can do not on JPET but some other sample website. You can just do a simple run for 100 user or 1000 users or 500 users. We will let you know in the end of the session. I'll tell you we have a JPET store. This pet store website is currently this is the currently web version, right? Going forward, we have the WAR file for this. Means an offline version is also there, which you can host on your laptop using Tomcat. So I'll be showing you that. Okay, how to do, right? So you can prepare a script for that, and you can run on your laptop also instead of running 500 user whatever. Instead of running on public website, generally we should not do or run a load test on public websites, right? So for practice purpose, you can uh, install it on your local machine, and you can prepare a script for that, or maybe I'll prepare and give you that, right? And, you can run on your, and that time you can learn all the things. Even you can run 500 users, 1000 users, right? Just increase the RAM. You should have at least some 4, 5 or 8 GB RAM free for JMeter to use. Okay, and then even you can see when you run for 100 user or 1000 user or 500 user, you see by enabling view real tree how slow it becomes. Okay, JMeter will hang, right? So that is that because it has to show this thing, right? So that's why this is a very memory consuming element. So that's why. And next thing you'll ask me then, if we disable it, then we how we will see the result, right? So we do not see the result using this because suppose you are running for 1000 users. Will you go and check for every 1000 users homepage has launched and what has happened here? We will not go, right? It's so detailed, it will become so big and detailed. We will not be doing that. Now all this thing will be done through assertion that we have added, right? That whether the 4000 user homepage got launched or not, and whether the response came or not. That's why we added that. So anyhow, we are not going to use this, okay? And this is not be useful. Only for script preparation, we did this and fine. Now load testing, another thing, all this kind of stuff we do not. Plus, another thing is the main thing I'll tell you. This is called GUI. Remember, in GUI you use it and you see this, okay? But test will be running in non-GUI, which is command line, through command line, which will be like this. And we that's what we are going to do. So in that, you do not see anything. You just see these results, but you do not see all these things. You do not see all these things. They will be okay, but generally we do not see. So again, when we run in CLI mode, or that is what non-GUI, and that time the same script is running. Suppose you have enabled this, so it will be eating up the memory, right? And we cannot see all this thing, cannot see. So, but it will be eating up the memory. So what is the point of keeping them enabling, right? So that is the point, that unnecessary element, especially the listeners, we should not enable them, or yeah, until yeah, because in CLI mode of execution or non-GUI mode of execution, they we do not see anything. So even if you use it, you will not be able to see this, right? So what is the purpose of using? And second thing, if you use it, it will consume so much time. Fine. So this is the way. So this is the understanding. So this is simple point, but there is a big logic hidden. In this. Next is point number 4. So in real time, understand that run test by minimizing network latency and bandwidth issue. Okay. And hence get a LG machine in same network premises or in same VPC as of AUT server, right? Okay. So now what is the meaning of this? So this is a very important point many people do not understand. Okay, they think, okay, we ran, but we prepared the script, now we ran. But where you will be running? Understand? See, uh, suppose you are working on an project. Okay, understand in real time. Everything I'm teaching you. So suppose this is an application, right? Your project application only, and you have prepared the script. Okay. Now, company has given us a laptop. Suppose this is laptop, my laptop. Our JMeter is installed here only, and using JMeter, we have prepared the script for this application, right? And JMeter is also on my laptop, means the company laptop. Now, problem is whenever I'll be running. So suppose we are doing work from home or work from office. This website or your project website, the application will be far away. Generally, we work for all foreign clients only, right? UK, Dubai, USA, correct? In India, we are doing. Now, problem is suppose if you are working in VMs. Now, what is the meaning of VM first? VM means a kind of same machine which client gives. So first, a company will be giving for which we are working. He will be giving a laptop, and through that laptop we connect to this virtual machine. Their software is there, and then we work inside it. Now this VM is given by client. Laptop is given by company, but the project whose project it is. Suppose you are working in product based company, then project company company has its own project. But if you are working in service based company, so there they bring the project, right? So that's why it's called service based. So if even though suppose you have a product based company also, uh, but your product will be of USA, UK, or maybe Dubai, right? And their branches in India. So you are working from India. Now you have to do the load testing even for that product, which is your company, let us say. Okay. Now I'm coming to that. Yeah. So first let us talk about VM. So in service-based company, generally VM is given. VM means it will be client machine. Client will be giving to which you will be connecting through your laptop, means the company provided laptop or your desktop, right? And you will be working in that VM. Now this VM is there inside that server, means it is in USA. Okay. Suppose your project is of USA. So wherever your application is there, there that VM is there. So that time, you are working on VM. So whatever script you are preparing, your JMeter, everything you are working inside this VM. VM is also nothing. Okay, it's like a Windows OS. It's like a Windows machine only. Okay, everything will be Windows, and inside your project will be there. All software will be there. Only thing you will be connecting through laptop and will be working here, right, inside this. Now, but this VM location is in US. Your project application in USA, right? And probability is there that they will be in same network premises. Now, what is the meaning of network premises? Means same area, okay, same area, same subnet, or that is also called as same virtual private cloud. If the application is on AWS or Azure, means cloud, so it is called virtual private cloud. Means every application, every company who have their plan on AWS. In very beginning we talk about cloud. What is cloud? Cloud is nothing, right? That you have to just buy the servers from AWS, and that particular server will be yours. You rent it, you pay the bill, and you use it, right? Simple, right? So every company will their plan will be having their separate virtual private cloud, and everything related to their application will be in the same area. That is called same network premises or same area subnetting, okay, or virtual private. So if all thing is in same virtual private cloud, so that time the distance is less, right? And network latency, the bandwidth is also very more in the cloud stuff. Now, what is this distance? So that is what I'm talking. So now let us say that suppose we are working on VM and VM is in same net premises of application. Where is the application? That time distance is very less. But suppose I'm using my laptop and my laptop is in India and the project application is of USA. Now you see the distance, direct distance, okay, is more, correct? So even in suppose product-based company. So currently, suppose I'm a product-based company, but my product is of USA. All application that we are accessing is USA. That application we are accessing through a laptop using a VPN, but it's not a VM, only VPN, and we are able to access. But I am using my country, India's bandwidth. I'm sitting in India and accessing that USA application in my laptop, right? Directly in laptop through that VPN. Now, problem here is you see distance is there and network bandwidth problem is there. Why? Because suppose my bandwidth is 30 Mbps. Plus, you see this distance, right? So from India, if I'm hitting the request, it is going there, and then response will be coming. So same way, suppose so that is the thing we have to understand, right? So suppose that this same JMeter I'll be running. So this is sending a request, and this request will be going all together from India to US till there, and from there it is fetching the response. So that is called network latency. Okay, got the idea? Network latency. So we have to minimize the network latency. So simply running a uh, test is not the thing. How to run the test efficiently is the main. So running network latency should be minimized. And that can only be minimized when you are running a test where your project application is there. So it should be in the same network premises, or that is called same VPC, virtual private cloud. So even though now, so in that case, so as I said, suppose in service-based company, the example, the VMs are there. So VMs are there in the same project. Where is the project? So that time network latency. Now, but for my case, suppose I'm in India and using my laptop only, I'm accessing that application. There is no VM concept. Okay. So in that case, I have to ask those guys that hey, give me a LG machine, means a kind of VM only, which is there in the same VPC of the AUT server. AUT means application under test. Whatever application I'll be working in the same VPC, give me a LG. LG means load generating machine, means a VM only. And then I'll be using it. I'll be transferring all my script from my laptop to that machine. All JMeter setup, I'll do that. And then through that LG, I'll be running. Okay, which will be in same network first. And then again, since that LG will be in same product area, so network will be minimized. Right, network latency will be minimized. Okay. Hope you understand the network latency. Next is bandwidth. So bandwidth means same thing. So as I said, now suppose I'm running a test from sitting in India, so it's a 30 Mbps plan. Now understand one thing. Very many people do not understand. See, suppose I have this is very unstable stuff. Suppose there are 6 people in the house, or just 30 Mbps plan is there, right? And there are 10 people in just for understanding, 10 people are using that. So what will happen? Bandwidth will be shared. If one people is using this, so he will be getting more bandwidth. If 10 people is using this, he will be getting one people will be almost getting 3 Mbps. So bandwidth will be shared. So once bandwidth will share, so speed will decrease. Correct. So now suppose sitting in your office network or your home network and you are doing a load test. Now suppose this same thing you are running for 100 users. Understand? This thing looks very childish in nature, but this is very huge concept, very big concept hidden. Okay, it's not childish. In real time also, suppose 30 Mbps, 10 people in your home using a website, speed will decrease or not, right? Decrease. Now, same, suppose from JMeter, same 30 Mbps you are using and you are running a test for 100 users. and those 100 users are virtual user, let it be. But they are sending the request, right? Each user is treated as a real user only. We have seen that, right? Even they are impacting different user on application. So 100 users are going and sending the thing and receiving the response. So they are consuming the same 30 Mbps speed, and that will be divided into 100 users. Or suppose you are running for 1000 users, so that same will be divided into 1000 users. Now understand, even your application is fast, you will can see slow response time. Okay, and that time you can complain, hey, application is slow. No, first we have to fix our testing, what they say, testing mechanism. Okay, or network latency, as you said. So sitting in India, I'm hitting on a server on USA. So that distance, plus I'm sitting in USA only, and from USA only I'm sitting hitting that application. This distance, which will be fast. Understand? Plus, okay, so obviously here response time is more. Here response time is less. That is network latency. Now same this 30 Mbps speed shared by 1000 users. Obviously this speed will decrease. Is it application problem? No. It is mind problem, my testing mechanism problem. So we should have a very good speed. So test, we have to test in real in term by taking some real parameters, right? So in real parameter nowadays, every user has 30 Mbps. Every home has 30 Mbps, right? Now using the 30 Mbps, you are running 1000 users. So you see how bandwidth has is creating issue. So even application has responded if fast, you will be getting it more slow because of this bandwidth issue, right? So this thing we have to take care. Now, when we run a test in cloud, so there the speed is 100 Gbps. I'll show you. Uh, I'm bookmark, not an issue. So network speed. It's showing 5 GB, but it's not GB. Actually, it's 100. Somewhere it is 50 to 100. Even though 25 Gbps also if we take, it's a Gbps, right? Not MB. Oh, yeah, yes, yes. Default bandwidth. Minimum is 10, maximum is 100. So 100, it's GB. GB, forget about, we are just experiencing in India, they say, suppose you are on 100 Mbps plan, right? So actually that B is small, okay? 100 Mbps. So it's 10 MB only, 10 megabit, okay, megabyte, this is megabit. So 100 Mbps plan, if anyone is saying, actually it's 10 MB megabyte, okay? That we have to understand, bit and byte. And this is gigabyte, that thing, minimum, maximum. And you see how much bandwidth they have. So if I use one LG machine, LG is what, 1 B, which has minimum 10 GB. Let us say minimum, maximum it can go 100. So we have so much bandwidth, right? Like that. Now what is LG machine? LG machine is nothing. It's called load generator machine. It's like same. Suppose I'm running a test using my JMeter, and this JMeter is currently on my laptop. Right? So my laptop is LG machine, load generating machine, where everything is set up, JMeter is set up, and JMeter is consuming my resources, my laptop resources. What resources? The memory, the internet, the speed and all those things, the CPU, everything JMeter using of my laptop, right? So my laptop is load generator. Using that, it's generating that 100 user or 1000 users, because generating a user needs memory and other thing processing. That's why we have to give heap, we have to increase heap to JMeter, right? And it's hitting the aperture. So my laptop is load generator. Okay, so LG is load generating. Now that's what we said. I said that we should have a LG machine generally in same network premises, or that is in same VPC as of application under test server, so that the network latency can be minimized, the bandwidth issue can be fixed, right? And then we can do a more realistic test. Okay, fine. Next is increasing the heap size. Now see, heap size we already know why to increase, how to increase. So initially when we increase the heap size, long back when we started the scripting, I said minimum 3 to 4 GB we have to give first time to JMeter. That is mandatory, because 1 GB is the default, and while working or preparing the script in 1 GB, JMeter itself will have. So we will not be able to efficiently work on JMeter. So minimum 3, 4 GB at least we should give, so that we can efficiently work on JMeter. But heap has a major role in generating the users, remember. Okay. Main thing in user generation, user load generation, right? So see, understand in very simple way that suppose this is the scenario and we have so many variable used here. We have done so many correlation and everything, right? Suppose only one variable for an example. Like that, so many variable are there. Then we have parameterization, done parameterization for this. In think time, we have done so many variables here, right? Each variable is holding value. Okay, one variable is holding one value. Now this is for one user. For an example, just understand here. We will be extracting pet, and pet will be here, and that will be passed here in select subpet, right? You know that. Now this is for one user. Now suppose we are running for 1000 users. So what will happen? 1000 duplicate copy of this pet variable will be created, and for each 1000 user there will be a heap memories will be created in our memory. That's they are called heap. Means for every user there will be a individual memory space, right? And for all those users, so because this variable is same, you see here. Now running for 1000 users means generally one variable saves only one value, right? That is the concept. Now if you are running for 1000 users, so same variable has to store 1000 different value for those 1000 users, and that too uniquely. It should not be conflicting. Conflict will never happen, right? Okay, that okay. Third user selected fish, so third user has to pass fish here. We have seen that, right? How this all works, correct? But how that happens? That's what individual memory gets created. So 1000 individual memory will be created, where this all separate values will be same copy of variable will be multiplied, and each value for each user, each variable for each user will be keeping one value, right? That is how all thing happens in memory. We do not see them. That's why it will be very not much understandable. But this happens. Otherwise, you only think that this is only one variable, and it is suppose I run for one user. It is picking one page. It is picking here, and it is passing here. Now, same suppose I run for 1000 users. How it will do that? Variable is only one, but 1000 users, how it is extracting the value, how it is putting there, how it is passing it, without even doing that, what we say, any error or any mistake, right? I've shown you, right, long back, that first user, what he is picking, that what he is passing back. Not only this, even the dynamic values, right? The dynamic value, we have seen that. In very beginning, I ran for one or two user, and I have shown that, right? That first user, what FPID is there, that he has to pass that here. Second user FPID, he has to pass it here. Third user FPID, he has to, they cannot change also. Now, how that happens? So these all thing requires memory, right? So that much variable use, uh, uh, and so we need that much memory so that efficiently for every user that much memory can be used, and those virtual space can be created for each user to hold the variable and to work it efficiently, right? To work it efficiently. So memory is very so beginning I said 3 to 4 GB. 3 to 4 GB was for just working on the JMeter. But when we are coming to the running of the script, we need very good amount of memory. Okay. Now understand. Minimum we can give 16 GB. That I think I have told in that time also. That using one LG means one laptop or one machine, which you'll be using as a load generator machine, right? There, uh, suppose you have 32 GB of RAM, so maximum you can give 16 GB to the JMeter. Okay. Now from that 16 GB, how much user load you can generate? Okay. Suppose you have to run for 20,000 user load. Can we do that from one LG machine? No, never. Why? Because many problems will be there. First, this only 16 GB heap, when out of memory error will come. First thing. Second thing, that's what the bandwidth issue, as I said. The 20,000 using are using or sharing that 20 Gbps. You see how bandwidth will become less for each user. So multiple factors come in it, and in that major factor is that RAM, only, the memory only. Okay, so so that is this can sometimes many people or in interview also this can be asked that how much user load can be generated from a single system or single LG, right? Or how much heat can generate how much user load. So remember, there is no specific answer to that. Okay? It all depends on below factor. Now, what are those factors, right? So I just said how much fast the processor has of your LG machine, how much RAM it has, and how much you are giving as heat to JMeter. Maximum 16 you can give, right? Then how much complex or how much correlation parameters and then use of code and functions are involved in the script, because as I said, much variable, much memory, correct? Plus, are you removing unnecessary elements from the test script? Otherwise they will also eat up extra memory, correct? And then running a complexity of the scenario and the type of the test. Now complexity of the scenario and type of test, I'll explain what is this factor. First understand. Suppose generally in my career, I have done one project where I have generated 20,000 user load and we used 6 LG machine. Okay. So why 6? So from one machine, one LG machine, I was able to generate 5,000 user load, 5K, where we given 16 GB completely to JMeter out of 32 GB of RAM, right? Out of 32 GB of RAM, 16 GB was given to JMeter. So like that, we were having uh, 5 LG machine. LG means you can just think LG, what as I said, it's a normal laptop, VM virtual machines they are called, or laptop also. But we do not use laptop for real testing. The reason I just say because our laptops are in India and we are putting test in USA, it's not suitable. So we have to ask for LG, which will be there in the same network privacy. So LG means nothing but VM machines, virtual machines. Okay, which will be there and will be connecting there in the same network premises of the server. Okay. And then we'll be putting JMeter and all those things and we'll be running the test. Okay. Even this script and test data will be transferring over there and we'll be running from. So, that's what. So from like that, we were having 6 LG. In all LG, we are having 32 GB of RAM and 16 GB completely it was given to JMeter. And I did a trial run. So from each LG, we were able to generate 5,000 user load. But to be on safer side, we reduce it to 4K, 4,000. So that 5,000, that too, when complete utilization of the memory was happening. So just to reduce that and to have, say, like not complete, but in a good range, we reduce to 4K. So 1 NG 4K. So 5 LG, 4 into 5, how much? 20,000 user load. Uh, we, we, uh, we were able to do that. Okay. So 5 LG and one was extra 6. That will be master. So this all concept comes in distributed testing, right? That is what master said. So there is a special session for that. So that is the thing. So you see, from one system maximum, how much I can generate, and that too, the scenario was not complex. It was a very simple scenario. So 5K, suppose we were able to generate. Now suppose our requirement is 20K. So we cannot use one system, right? You see. There we have to bring multiple systems. So here we are talking about systems. Now suppose that was a simple scenario. I ran for 5. Now if the scenario is complex and more correlation, more variables are used, so this number can reduce, right? So that's why there is no specific answer. It all depends on scenario to scenario, script to script, complexity. Now what is the meaning of complexity? Complexity means, suppose I'm running product booking scenarios for 5,000 users. I'm successfully able to do from a single machine, okay, single system. Now I'm running product booking also, cancellation also, and user registration. Okay, 3 scenarios. Suppose. Now when we are running 3 scenarios, so you see, can I do with 5K user again? No. Then number of user has to reduce. It will reduce. Otherwise, we will get memories. Now you'll ask me why? Because now complexity of the script has increased. Now you'll ask me how, right? How come? So see, in product booking, suppose total variable used were 20, right? Now in cancellation also some variable will be there. Suppose here 10. In user registration, 10. So how many variables? 40 variables. For an example, I'm saying. Now this earlier 20 variables, 5,000 users from a single system. But now the variable has increased. So they will need extra memory or not. So that time this will reduce, right? Now, so that is the thing. Okay. So number of user. So see, generally for practice purpose, you can run from a single system. There is no problem in that. But in real time, when we have to go beyond 4,000 users and 5,000 users, then we have to what where this noise. So that time, okay. So that time, this problem will or this aspects will come in picture, right? Now, so how will come to know that how much user uh, can be generated? So that's what you can do dry run and keep checking the memory and CPU utilization visual view. You know that we have already covered visual view. So when you are running a test, parallelly you can open visual view and you can see, right, that how much memory utilization is going for JMeter. If you are running for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, so it should not go more than 70-80%. We should not do memory heap and CPU utilization for any LG must not exceed more than 80% usage. Remember. Because if you go beyond that and if you do harsh utilization, harsh means whole complete utilization of the system, then it can create unnecessary issues. Unnecessary error will come, like execution will be hanging. There will be issue in result accumulation, okay, or consolidation and result generation. You will see unnecessary increase in response time. Even application is fine, but you can see out of memory, so all this thing will be. So I mean, these all thing we have to take in picture when we are doing more number of user tests, right? Um, Now, so hope this thing is clear about it. So see, running a 1K, 2K test, 100 user test, 200 user test is easy stuff. This whole thing I've covered, like I've talked about when we have to go beyond 2000, 3000 user test. Okay, more than 3000, so more than 4000. So this all, uh, then we have to go with this stuff. We have to take care of this ages and the memories and all the things. Fine. Next, okay. So this thing only you have to worry when you have to generate the user load on 4000. Otherwise, from one system, I believe if you give 16 GB to JMeter, so you can easily generate 3 to 4000. Okay. So that time no need to. But again, all thing you can monitor through visual VM when you are running a test, right? But that is not important. This is more. That is also important, and this is also important. Real test should be done where the LG should be in same network runs. So you can ask them, you can explain the team wherever you are working at, and you can ask them. Suppose your seniors are there, so they will do that. Or suppose you are individual contributor, means alone doing that everything. So that time you can ask. They will also agree. They will give you. For practice purpose, you can run from your laptop. So now all the tests which will be running, you will be running from laptop. But these are the best practices. In real, we have to do like okay. Fine. Next is then after all this, do a trial run for 10, 50 or 100 users and check everything working on fine or not. Check whether everything is working fine or not, result is coming fine or not, right? All those things. Then you can slowly go increase depending on the requirement, how much project requirement is there, whether it is 500, 1000, whatever. Okay. So now we are going to do that, right? So we will be running 10 user test. So execute the test, generate the result, test result. So and using that test result file, we can generate the HTML dashboard result report, or we can view the test status, right? Test execution. Fine. So this all thing you take care, right? In real time, you have to take care. For now, since for practice purpose, we are going with Pretstone and we'll be running using our laptop. We'll be running for not more 10, 20 users, right? And we will learn how these executions are done, how the report is generated, and many things related to that, right? And then, uh, yeah, and many things are there. Okay. And as I said, in future, I'll be giving you the WAR file for this, and I'll be showing you how to. You can also host. Host means you can locally install that on your laptop, and you can create a JMeter script. So from your JMeter script only, you can put load on this um, pet store application, right? And that you can run for 1000 users, not a problem. But generally on public websites, we should not put loads. Okay. There are multiple reasons. First reason is like, see, someone is maintaining this, right? And for people, and people are practicing it, correct? Even if you see the J2EE, which is default user, And if you go to my account and if you go to my order, you automatically see every day so many orders are getting created. See there, even every time, because people are using it. People are using it. But what if who is doing this free service? What if he removes it? Then will people be able to do it? Right? No, right? No. And he will be hosting it somewhere, right? So somewhere that person is there who is keeping it. People are practicing. Not only this application, all other application that we have seen, adapting is there, no commerce is there, parabank suppose. Okay, so suppose they remove it, then from where we'll get to practice, right? So these all things are there. That's why we should not put load. If, because putting load is like we are damaging their server, right? Server capacity will be utilized and it will impact them. So I never suggest to anyone, even though in my back people will be practicing. Many people use this specs. Many, not many, many people are using this in this world, and that's why you see this is the reason. You see why this order is coming so much on J2 double, because J2 double is default credential. Even you see today date only, so many order has been created because people somewhere someone is practicing. Okay, so do not run. Whoever is watching the video or who is attending, you can host it. We have a WAR file. I have WAR file. I'll give you, and you can run for 1,000 users also, because you will not be putting on load on this server, right? You'll be putting your load on your laptop only, using JMeter on laptop only. So that way you can run for 1,000. You can see how to run 1,000 users. You will get the idea, correct? Everything will be in your control. No one will be bothering you, right? Or you will be not bothering to anyone. Suppose here you do 1,000 users, you can do, but you will be bothering them. We are bothering them. They are doing free services, right? So that is the thing. Okay. There was one more website which was called Sun HRM. So there's also a demo website. I don't know whether it is there. Longer places. Orange, oh, sorry. Orange HRM. Yeah, orange. So it is like this is also for practice purpose. You can, what it does is basically this is for attendance. So I think many company have this punch in, punch out, right? Uh, so when we put access cards, right? So this is also kind of realistic application uh, where if you go there, mm, put there. So here, so this fellow punch in at this date, right? Leaves and all those things. All you can practice if you want. You can create a script uh, and you can apply for leave. You can select a rule. Okay. So hope this facility there in every company, I believe. Like this punch in, punch out, and submitting the timesheet for every week we are working, right? And almost every company has. So this is kind of that. You can do timesheet filling, like uh, go to edit and fill some stuff for all this, and then do save. So that way, give some project name, demo project name, right? Then how many hours you have worked for that. I think this we have to add probably. Manually we have to create. Or your projects are there. It's in anyone. You can take. Right? So go back here. One project came, then what you did here? Bug fixes you did. So Monday how much you work, Tuesday how much you work, this day. And then save. So this is also real scripting you can do. Okay. And then you can run and check whether it is scripting. You can register your own. That was default credential. I think you can do our own registration or not. Maybe just check whether you can do our own registration. This is a very long. In my first company, I have to give system test on this. My first job was. So system test means doing a scripting. They will give you everything like demo application, JMeter, and do that. The one scenario they will give and complete it. So that was. So I have forgotten. It's like 8 years back. So first was then like this. So something like submitting the timesheet. I remember. Yeah, that was the scenario. So this is what like how I told. Log in and then go to timesheet and fill those timesheets. So this is a real application. This also people can practice if you want to know more on realistic apps, know the challenge. So many are there. Now coming back, so see, this is also someone is maintaining. So why we should bother it by putting 1,000 user load, right? If he remove it, that person gets frustrated and he removes it. So from where we'll get the practice website? At least for now, this is common. Many people who are teaching training, giving training or learning, they use this all. Web tours is there, JPEG story is there, Orange, Adaptive, No Commerce. Okay, Blaze demo is there, Parabank one just came. Earlier I was also having this banking, it's called Megaso, but now it's not working. So you see like that, right? So these are common. 6, 7 apps are there. Every trainer in this world or every practicing people use this for practice. This no commerce that you see, this many people used to practice Selenium courses because real stuff no one can bring you and show you. Real project application no one can bring. Even that is not authorized. It's not authorized to share your real stuff in the public domain, right? Uh, it will come on your job, right? You can lose your job. So that's why your application you cannot access outside. Right? So no one can give the realistic application to practice. But somehow I have recorded one video of one application you remember I've shown the script I did that, right? But generally, we have to go with this application only and practice. And hence, I believe that we should not put more loads on this so that they do not get frustrated, the host people who are maintaining this website, and they do not get irritated. Okay. They do not get removed. If they remove them from where next time we'll practice. Now, JPEG storage coming. So you can learn it by putting it on your laptop. I'll show you how to do. And there you can run 4,000, 2,000, whatever you want. But here do not run more than 20 or 50. Even though do not run 50. 10, 20 is fine. Fine. Now, so much lecture done. Now we'll go and run the test. So all is clear. Here we will put 10 users. Ramp up for 10 user, suppose, let it be 1 second. One loop they will do. Right, fine. 10 users, 1 second ramp, one loop. And this all has been parameters here. All this view result tree and all this thing has been disabled. Now see how the test is done. Okay. So when we talk about running a test in non-GUI mode, uh, that is what general tests are executed in non-GUI. That time the JMeter is not open. So you see, I've closed the JMeter. And you'll ask me how it is done. So it's done through command prompt. So first we have to open our terminal or command prompt or PowerShell, right? So anyone you can. So first I'll show you command from simple one. Now from command from first we have to go where the JMeter directory cd slash cd JMeter plus bin. So here we are in JMeter plus bin directory. Okay. So this is so we know this. Now here we have to write the command. Now what is the command? So command is here JMeter space dash n space dash d and the complete JMX file path, then dash n and test result file path, JTL file. Okay. So I'll show you. First, we'll write that in a notepad. So here first command. So what is the command? JMeter space n space t. So all in a small. So JMeter space n space t. Fine. Okay. Now we have to give the our JMX file. So where is that? It is here. So either you can copy this or you can right click and do copy as path like this, and let us put it here. And this will be delete inverted quotes. Inverted quotes never we have to use. Okay. So this is the complete file path of my JMX. So copy that and put it here. So JMX file with its path. Okay, done. Now after that again a space and dash L and then a space. Now what is that dash L? I'll explain. So first here remember after this again a space, right? A space and then dash L, right? Dash L is for result log and then a space, right? Now what we have to do? We have to give a file name where the result will be stored, and the file name should be having extension either .jpl or .csv, anyone. Okay. So what we will do first, we will create a folder called test results. Inside that, we create one more folder. Suppose this is first scenario, so we create 01p scenario ID name, right? Correct. Product group name. Now this complete path I will copy and that I'll put it here. This is the path, right? Now after that I'll give a file name. So this till here it's a path. Here I'll give a file name, right? Some file name you can give. Suppose run one underscore 10 users underscore today t suppose 15 dot. Remember file extension what I said just now, dot JTL or dot CSV, anyone we can use. But JTL is coming from very beginning, so people still use dot JTL. You know, file this is dot JMX. Here this will be dot JTL or dot CSV. This is the path, right? This is path. So forget about that. This is the file, right? Here also this is the path. Forget about this is the JMX file, right? Like this. So this script will be running and test result will be stored in this file. Understood? So let us give this here after dash L and space and then put. Now hit the enter button. So now you'll see slowly the message will come. It will take some time. Sometime it hangs. So you can press enter button 1 or 2 times. Yeah, it's coming. So these are warning message. Ignore that it comes. They are warning. They are warning. Ignore that. Here you'll see all this during. Now they are saying it will be removed in future related. This is something related to Java's. We can Main thing is creating summarizer, because this is called summary. We have created tree successfully using this JMX file. The JMX started the standalone test it at this date and this time. This is the epoch time in Linux form, the same time in epoch form, right? And possible wait. And if the test has started, 10 users are running and they are running it for 1. Okay. So hope you see, right? Creating summarizer, created the tree successfully using this JMX file, started the standalone test. Why it's called standalone? Because currently only one system, only one LG is used. My laptop only. We are not doing multiple LGs, right? So only this is the date, same date in epoch format, right? Then here, and this is called summarize. This is what I used to show you, right? This thing. So I'll explain this, but before that, you see now here that JTL file, which this we have given has been generated, because, right? Because test has finished also. If you see finally, when the test will finish, it will show us a message tidying up at this time. It started at this time, tidying up means ending right at this time, epoch format, and end of run. So now test has finished and test result has been stored in this. Now from this file, we have to generate the HTML report. The HTML report that I many time open it and show you, right? Now how to do that? Okay. So again, there is a separate command for that. And that command is JMeter space -g and then complete GTL file with path, then space and the output directory. Space O, and again space and the output directory. Okay. So it means that here only you can type JMeter, and hope you see I'm typing it. I'll come back and I'll explain it, but first quickly let us generate the report. So JMeter space -g space this GTL file, complete GTL file. Okay. Put it here. You can see. Then space -o and space output directory. So write it here space -o space output directory. Now what is output directory? Output directory means a folder name, simply a folder name without extension, because a folder doesn't have any extension, right? No. So now what name you will give? So you can keep same name, just remove the extension. Same thing means the same thing. If I delete this extension, so this is a directory, right? It's a folder, output directory. Without, and if I give extension, it will become a file. Simple, right? So now why I'm keeping same, so that this name remains same, right? So here put that same part, and this GTL only you delete. And now hit the enter button. So it will generate the HTML. Again, this warning message is coming. Ignore that. I think this warning message is coming because I'm using Java 24, and this JMeter is currently, it works best at Java 8 or 11 because it's still old JMeter, 2 years back. Because from 2 years they have not released any latest version. That's why these all things are coming. But if you are using Java 8 or Java 11, I think you'll not be seeing this message. So you can ignore this. So after that, so we have given the command here. These all are warning, you have to ignore, right? And then cursor is blinking back again on bin directory. It means that it has successfully generated the report. Now if you go to that same location, pet store folder test result, yes, right inside that this was GTL, and from that GTL file we generated this report. Now what we have to do, we have to go inside that, and there will be index.html. This is better view in Chrome. So Google Chrome, if you open it, it looks more better. So open in Chrome, or by default, if default setting is there for Chrome in your system, you'll get guide. So this is the report. See, this is the states for 10 user, sorry, and all that. Now I'll be coming and explaining all these things. First, let us understand the summarize. So this is called summarize. Now where test started. So this area, first understand here, this area tells the users. So with how many users it has started, how many are active. Active and started means understand that suppose you are running for 100 users, but out of 100 currently 20 are there in the system. So it will 20 are active, right? Total are 100. It's like that. Okay. So how many total number of users? How many are active means how many are running? How many have finished, right? So here you can see when the test was almost finishing. So active were 2 because 8 has finished the test, right? Total is 10. Constant total is always 10. Active depends, right? And start and finish also depends. So here slowly users has finished the test, so they are exiting. Correct? So remaining is 2 like that. Okay. So this all tell about active user, started user, and finished user, right? This tells how much error was there. And in this is the number and this is percentile. In percentile form, how many errors. Now, this tells the response time. So average response time, this is average response time. This is minimum response time. And this is maximum response time. Okay. So this is maximum, 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 maximum. This is minimum, minimum, minimum. This is average, average. Now, actually, this all is displayed based on time. Remember. Now, time how it is calculated. Whenever the test start, it is started as 0 point. So you see 0 point. Now, after some time, when slowly users are increasing, so requests are increasing, correct? So when the 0 point, this was the value. After 8 seconds of the start of the test, this was the value. So total yeah, 8 plus 2 almost equivalent to 10, 11. So this is the test result. Then again, after 6 seconds, this is the result. After 17, this is the result, right? So this total test ran for 1 minute and 10 seconds. You see, 1 minute and 10 seconds, right? So every second, what is the result? It is full, right? So when the test started, suppose 0, 0, then from first 2 seconds, this is the result status. Then first 2 seconds. Then after that, next 8 seconds, this is the result. Then it got added, right? Means 8 plus 2 is almost 10 or 11. So adding this become from 0, 0 to total 10 seconds. This is what the test result. Then after that, again in next 6 seconds, right? Next 6 seconds, wow, how much, what happened? This is the result. Then 11 and 6 got added, so 70, total 70, equal to 7. So this is the test result. Then again, next 10 seconds, this is the test result, and 17 plus 10 got added here, equal to 27. This is the test result. So depending on every time, what is the test matrices it display like. Okay. Now, and this is the request getting fired. Means what? Hope you remember that. Suppose we have product booking scenario. So total 15 transactions are there and 17 requests are there, right? So if one user will be running, so solely 1, 2 requests like that, it will be firing. Right? Now understand 10 users are running. So every second the request firing will be increasing, right? So total 320 requests got fired in this time frame by 10 users. And This represents the request per second happening. In per second, how much request is getting filed. So this is also called as request per second or transaction per second. And then these are every response time, minimum, max, error, active users, like this. We read them. Okay. Now understand one thing, that this information all are useless actually. We do not get much idea on this. Now, if we say minimum, what is the minimum for which response time? Because if you see, there are so many, total 17 requests are there. For which request you are saying minimum, right? For which you are saying maximum, for each you are saying average. We do not get much idea on this. So that is one drawback of the JMeter test. So suppose you are running a 1 hour test. That time also this whole thing will run for 1 hour, and we have to just keep sitting idle and will not get any idea from this, because what idea is, which test, which maximum, which minimum, if error is coming, where that error is, you will not get any idea. Only you will get idea when you have the report. Here you will get the idea. Okay, home page, 10 time it got executed. What is average response time? What is minimum? What is maximum? What is median? What is 95 response? For interest to what is, right? We will all get the detailed idea. If any error is there, which request error is there. Okay. So that is one drawback. And to avoid that drawback, that's why we do a integration of JMeter and InfluxDB and Grafana, right? Which we'll be discussing later on. But remember, this is a drawback. Suppose, because for 1 hour, if you are running this test, so 1 hour you have to sit idle and not get anything. Only when the test finishes, then we get the JTL file, and from the JTL we generate the HTML report, and then we open the HTML report, and then we see all the thing in details. Okay, so that is one drawback of this summarizer, but this is called summarizer. And every line, as I said, the every line is getting generated after 10 seconds. By default, the time frame was 30 seconds. You remember yesterday, I think we reduced it to 10 seconds. That's why you see almost at every 10 seconds, this addition is also happening. Okay. Almost 10 seconds, right? So this is about summarize. Now comes to report. This is report. In the report, first thing we'll see is the detailed file name, means using which the test was, uh, the GTL. This is GTL file using which this HTML report is generated. So this will be displayed here. This will display when the test has started. This will display when the test stop ended, right? Then filter, I can remove it. Then this will tell how much pass and fail stuff. So how much has passed, how much has failed. Right? Then about this you already know index column. So currently index is near to 0.991, means our test was all successful within the SLA limit. Right? And all are one, means all response time were 14 user we ran. So for almost for every request, the response time fall between 2 to 3 seconds. Right? Except this home page, it took little more time, but all fall between that. So this is what Abdex tells us. Right? To discuss that yesterday. This is the main column, main term. And so in this main table, this is the request level, means the transaction and request, transaction, request, transaction, request. We give 1 and 2 so that the requests are arranged properly. Multiple requests are there for one transaction. Right? So this is, remember, this is not number of users. Okay, this is number of execution. Even I think previously also I have shown when we were running to the aggregate report. Next time I'll be running, not only one time we will Tomorrow we'll be running few more tests. At that time I'll run for 10 user and 2 loops. So you'll see it will increase because or 5 minute test will do. So this value will be increased because remember this is not the number of users. This is number of time each request got executed. Okay. Then this is error. Any error for that particular request, and this is percentile. Now from here to here, all is response time, and that too in millisecond. So for that particular request, how much was average response time? How much is minimum response time? How much is maximum? How much is medium? How much is 90, 95, and 99? Now about this, we will understand in detail later on. Not now. We'll get confused how these are calculated. But just understand. Then throughput. Throughput was transaction per second. Means every second how much request was firing. Right? That is on and available. And this is network bytes, receive byte and send byte. So what is this bytes means? So meanwhile JMeter opens. Next I'll show you this about bytes, but let us talk other or it has opened. Right. So byte means this. You see here, this 4 column. Size in bytes, send bytes, header size in bytes, and body size in bytes. Now, what is this byte? Understand. See, the request which is getting sent, the request header which is getting, this is called data. Data is measured in bytes, right? That is what. And same way response. So this is data, and this response header is data. So how much it was received, right? In bytes. Okay. So for 10 user when it ran, so for home page, per second how much data was received and how much data was sent. Okay, so this is what they tell. What is kilobytes per second? Bytes means the data, means whatever we are sending. Suppose I am searching this and I send, so this request went, right? This request went, so it carried some data. This is data, this is data. When we have our mobile, suppose we have daily 2 GB, where this is consumed, we are consuming data only. Data is transferring and we are consuming all 2 GB. How that 2 GB is calculated? This is data. Okay, you send something, you receive something, and then it got reduced from our 2 GB limit. Okay, that's what. So we receive something. So this will be measured, right? So that's what that kilobytes per second. Okay. Now downside will be error column. If any error is there, you will see error. So I run a test for 100 users. Generally, I do not do, but just to show you guys, I have ran long back. Yeah, 9th April I did. Okay. So that time some failure came. So this is how it was showing failure. Correct. Now where is that failure and all those things? So if we go down, so you see here in confirm, out of 100, 12 time it failed. And then there are some failure in my order also. So here you see since 12 time it got failed, we have applied result test as action handler. So those 100 users got a stop. Sorry, out of 100, 12 users failed. So they got a stop. So that's why this number is decreased, right? So hope you will know that. Okay, why this has increased, because we stopped that user. They didn't continue. Then here out of 88, again one user was failed. But I don't think here RS is there, so he was not a stop. Now how that error? So here you will get the error. Right? Here it will tell that which is the type of error. So 500. How many such errors are there, right? Percentile, like that. And here you will get details. Okay, in which request? This is the request. It got executed 100 times. 12 times it got. Now, out of that dwell time, the error code is 500 error. 500 is one of the response code, which is internal server error, and this is a server problem. Then again here, this out of 88 time, one time it fails, and this was the failure. Yeah, this is how we read this, and these are the errors we try to find when we do the test. We have to find the response time which are going slow, right? That is the bottleneck or performance issue. Performance issue is called bottleneck, right? Plus where the error is, and error should be of the server error, not the script error. Okay, 500 series error we have discussed long back, right? So any error related to that. So here, what this test tells us, this test is telling us that this application called pet store is unable to handle 100 users only, because the main transaction, you see, confirm order where the main order is booking, it failed 12 times. Means server is not capable. Some problem. Right? So there we have to do analysis. Analysis is done. This result is analyzed. Then on server side, uh, people will see where is the problem. Right? What went well. What is not working? Is there some problem in the database, the coding they have written? Okay, and then they try to fix it. Or scaling problem. Scaling means suppose memory and CPU utilization is on server also, right? Server also memory CPU is there. So I explained earlier, right, why we use multiple web server, multiple app server, because one server has limited capability, right? Suppose one server can handle only 5,000 user load. So, and if you put 6,000 user load, so obviously he will throw errors, right? He will not be able to serve it. So like that, maybe server is not able to handle that. Okay. So server configuration problem will be there, CPU memory. So these all things will be analyzed on servers. Okay, then debug, then analysis, and then fixing it, and then again rerunning. Then suppose 100 user, everything is going smooth, then increasing it 200, 300, 500, like that. It has to go till till the desired load. How much the desired load they are expecting is tested and system is handling it very well, right? Until it has to this testing goes, right? So this is called errors, right? And then the left hand side, as you said, charts will be there. uh, Over time throughput response time charts, total 116 charts are there, and generally no one focus on the chart, but yeah, charts will be there, right? All those charts will be there. And since we have kept granularity 1 second, right, that's why you see so many dots are there, because this test ran for 1 minute, and in 1 minute almost 60 seconds are there, so you'll see 60 dots will be there. When we will be running for more number of duration, right, more hour or duration, 1 hour or more, then guarantee you can keep 1 minute, right? So that per minute the dot counts, right? Fine, so that is for today. Tomorrow again we'll try to run one or two more time, right? And, we'll see if we solve some other concepts. uh, we can run a test in one line also. So tomorrow I'll be showing that one line as well. One line. And, so that is for today. Tomorrow we'll increase the loop, 10 loop and 10 users and 2 loop will do. And then I'll run one more time. And yeah, like that. We'll understand some basics. Fine. And also we'll try to understand this. Some tips and tricks are there. And execution command for executing on Mac and Linux. Right. Then again, some other related topics are there. We'll be talking. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet.